Hello viewers, hope you all are doing absolutely fine. So this video is very important because in this video I'm going to discuss class 12th topic and a very interesting and a very important concept for your NEET examinations as well. And this topic was asked by so many of the students on my Instagram page. So if you also want me to do your topics or any topic which you are finding critical to understand, you can write to me in the comment section, as well as you can follow me on my Instagram page to get your query solved. Now what I'm going to discuss here is the topic is from evolution, and that is Hardy-Weinberg equation, or we call it Hardy-Weinberg principle. And if you are new to my channel, please like, share and subscribe, and your support encourages me to keep doing best. So keep supporting, keep sharing. Now let's start. So to understand Hardy-Weinberg principle, it is very important that we should be very much familiar with the terminologies like population genetics, gene pool, alleles and genes. And one more important terminology which I am going to use here is panmictic population. Now you don't have to be confused with the terminology, because this is known as random mating. Now why I am asking that these terminologies are very important for understanding this Hardy-Weinberg principle, because let's understand one by one. So population. So earlier also I discussed about population in my previous video. So we know that population is a group of individuals, right? It is a group of individuals that can interbreed, or we can say that group of individual of same species that can interbreed in a particular area. Suppose this is a land area, and here 100 population or 100 individuals, male and females, are surviving, and each male and females are having equal mating potential. So this is what population is. Now what is population genetics? Now population genetics is basically tells about the alleles and gene frequencies, and these two things are the major factors which are playing role for the evolution. Now any change in the alleles or the gene sequences will lead to the evolution, right? Any change in these sequences of allele and gene frequency will lead to evolution. And population genetics can be understood with the Mendelian genetics, with Darwin's natural selection. Because we are understanding this whole thing which is related to evolution, so it is very important that why we are using these terms for Hardy-Weinberg principle, because Hardy-Weinberg principle is again helping in giving some points for evolution or evolutionary changes. Now what Hardy-Weinberg said we are going to discuss in a while, but before we will see each one of the terminologies one by one. And if you will have any query, any doubt, you can write to me in the comment section, and you can follow me on my Instagram page. You don't have to be hesitated or anything like that. If you will be writing in the comment section and I won't be able and I won't be replying to it, I will be. So now let's see about gene pool. Now gene pool is again a very important terminology, because just give me a second. Right, so now we are going to see about gene pool. Now I had told you that this is a particular area, and this particular area number of 100 number of individuals are living. Now these 100 number of individuals, they are having their own sets of gene or genetic information. Now the whole set of genetic information or gene, and within gene we know that the alleles are present. Okay, so gene pool is a whole set of genetic information. It is a whole set of genetic information that are present for transmission, that are present for transmission. Now within gene pool I am going to use two important terminologies for genetic information. Now genetic information is basically tells about alleles and genes, right? So in the previous video also I discussed about genes and alleles, and I had told you that genes are the segments which are present on DNA, and DNA is present within the chromosome, right? It's a packed structure. So genes are present on the DNA segments, and each gene, suppose this is a gene for hair pattern, right? And the place where it is located is known as loci, and each gene are having two alleles for the character. Now hair pattern, if I say that suppose hair pattern is curly, and for curly hair pattern I use, if it is dominant zygous homozygous, then it will be represented as capital H, capital S, H. And if it is heterozygous, we represent it as capital H, small h. So these are the two ways of representation of alleles. One is a homozygous and other one is a heterozygous type. Now in case of recessive kind, so straight hair are mainly known as recessive hair pattern. Now in that case, homozygous recessive will be represented with the small hh. Now these terminologies we are very much familiar in the chapter genetics or inheritance of traits. So all these terminologies are going to be used in evolution as well, because evolutionary changes are dependent on the chromosomes changing pattern, mutations, random mating. So these are all the things which are helping in transmission of traits, and along with the transmission of traits, when something gets hindered, then the evolutionary changes occur. So these are the terms which we are going to study. Now alleles, I told you that the way they are represented on the DNA segments. Now gene is basically the unit of heredity of traits, and for each gene there are two alleles present. So we had discussed about allele as well and genes as well. Next is about random mating. Now in this particular diagram, each male and female are equally potential, are having equal potential for mating without any restrictions. So panmatic population is known as random mating. So random mating is basically the idea which tells that all individual in a population have equal potential of mating. With no limitation. Let's discuss about Hardy-Wengwer principle. So what actually they said that in a sexually mating population, the relative frequency of alleles in a population remains constant from one generation to another. That means, according to Hardy-Wengwer population or Hardy-Wengwer principle, the population in which the random matings are occurring and the product of that mating are transmitting character from parents to the offspring are having constant gene frequency, right? So he said that the transmission of allele frequency is static or constant, right? Now he said that the transmission will be constant from one generation to another until and unless there will be no mutation. There will be no natural selection. There will be no migrations. There will be no recombinations. There will be no genetic drifts. So, until and unless these factors are not going to cause any of the hindrance into the population or into the existing population, there will be no evolutionary changes. Right? So these are the factors. If these factors are occurring, that means if these factors will occur, that means they will change or they will bring new patterns into the existing population, or there will be some evolutionary changes will occur. If any of these factors will come into an act, Either it is a mutation or natural selection, migration, recombination, or genetic drift. But if these factors are not causing any of the hindrance, then the population is having static or constant allele frequencies. Now, this is also known as neutral equilibrium. And the sum total of allelic frequency is given as 1. So, how it is denoted? So, in a diploid organism, the individuals are denoted as P and Q. So basically P is used for dominant, which can be homozygous or it can be a heterozygous dominant, right? And Q is used for recessive type, which is alone homozygous. Now the genotype for P or the dominant is represented as capital A and capital A, right? For heterozygous, which is P and Q, is denoted as capital A small a, and for the recessive one it is represented as small a small a. Now this expansion can be represented in Punnett square as well. So capital A small a, capital A we denote it is with small p, and small a we denote it with small q. Now we are making it a more clear expression with Punnett square, right? Small capital A P small a Q. Now the genotype for small a can be will be capital A, which is P square, capital A small a, that is P and Q, capital A small a, which is P and Q, small a, that is Q square. We represent it as P square plus 2PQ plus Q square equals to 1.